going to do January 6th and 7th, and then I saw that the 52 tags handmade challenge was out today. It's so it took everything I had to, nope, you're not allowed to play until you get your journaling done, because that's a rule. But, oh, I'm having so much, I don't have any fabric, or I have very little fabric. I need to hit the thrift stores and just start, buy a bag of sheets or something. But I do have a little bit, so I'm going to just use what I got, and I might have to move into using paper. I know it's a slow stitch thing, but I figure if I still stitch on the paper, it would still count. I just don't have a lot of fabric, and I don't want to get a stockpile of it, but I do think I need to hit the Goodwill, and just pick up really cheap clothes and pillowcases and that kind of stuff that have different patterns and stuff, so I have some things to play with and work. So I'll have to do that. Anyways, has nothing to do with today's page, but that's what happened this morning. Today's page, though, is January 6th and 7th, like I said, in my Fauxbonichi. I am doing stamping, I'm doing embossing, I'm doing paper cutting, and stuff like that. And yeah, it was at home it was a beautiful Wednesday, Thursday. Around the world, or around the nation, it was a train wreck, and Capitol Hill was, holy shit. What country are we living in now? Y'all need to grow up. That was terrible. And we're led by a 2-year-old. But luckily, he's about out. So, in case you're wondering what side of the political field I'm on, I don't do politics or any of that. I did vote, and that kind of things. But in general, I try to stay away from it. But what happened this week? Wow. Just, wow. Yeah. So I hope the 25th Amendment happens, and that can be the end of his wonderful legacy. And that's my 2 cents on it. And with that, I made a bag because I kept a bunch of the newspaper clippings and some of my notes on what I thought about what happened this week, or that, it's not this week, that day.
It's 10 o'clock.
Hold on. Yeah, I know. And that kind of stuff. But I didn't want it to ruin my page. I think it, needed to go in there. But frankly, I think I like my little half acre of life, and I really just try not to go outside of that, because frankly the world is depressing. And life's too short to be pulled down by politics and that kind of stuff. But it's hard to get away from what happened this week. And so I just printed out a lot of the headlines. I printed out President Obama's statement on it. I think he said it perfectly, although I like the tone of his wife's statement better. Leave it to the woman to be no nonsense, right? Anyways, so I made a little pocket to put that stuff in, so it wouldn't be the focus of my page, because I hate politics. I hate the government stuff. I fully believe we need the police force, the government, all of that kind of stuff. But I think right now it is so broken that, at some point when you drop the glass, there are too many pieces to glue back together. And this one needs to be swept away into the trash, and we need to start over. We need to change laws that have been in effect since our country was founded that are no longer applicable. Anyways, that's my 3 cents on it. And so what I did was I took a piece of vellum and I cut it into the shape of an envelope, adhered it together, and ran it through an embossing folder. This is, I don't know, what's it called? I don't know. Doesn't say. But it's a Sizzix one, but it's got clocks and stuff on it. The reason I picked the clocks is because time passes, and this shall too. I think that the last 4 years has proven that although we can be broken, we won't fall apart. And I think that the world's waiting for us to grow the hell up, and I think that's where we're headed. So it's embarrassing, if nothing else. The last 4 years have been simply embarrassing. World leaders, my ass. Examples of democracy, my butt. And I just, oh my gosh, what the world must think of us. So with that, that's my pocket, and I'm going to hide it behind some pretty stuff, because I'm all about the pretty stuff, and that's how I'm going to do it. I took some of my P13 paper, which is just gorgeous, and I cut a chunk of it off, so I have that to do another page with, and then this is a cut apart that goes with it. These are the four, I don't remember what that one is, but this one's 4 Seasons, and they have the same flowers, so I think they're both 4 Seasons by P13. And I just cut some of the flowers and stuff out. And then, like I said, I did the embossing folder thing. I'm not doing all of, I can't prep on camera for the Fauxbonichi usually. I just want these videos to be quick in story time, and that's it. And because I have other videos. I have a whole queue of videos. You guys are going to be so proud of me. And so, yeah. But with that note, I am going to stand. I have had these. They're Marian Smith. I don't know if she's even still doing her thing. But I don't know if you remember Marian Smith. But I bought her planner stamps, and I'm gonna use them. It's got little tiny months and little tiny numbers, because I just want to put a little tiny date right here at the bottom. And so I lined them up, and I had to do this off camera because look at the size of these. I don't even know. I can't hold on. Yeah, see, it's tiny. And so I want to stamp them. So I'm going to take the gathered twigs, just almost dropped it, on oxide to stamp with. I have other stamping inks, but I have this on my wall, and so I'm going to just use that. And then I need a piece of paper, because I'm a terrible stamper. I should have put this in my new little stamping majig. See, I'm already upside down. Yep, that's would have been that. See, that's why I have to test everything. But for some reason, neither one of her stamp sets came with an and sign, which is so weird. So I'm gonna just use a little heart. I don't like that heart though. All right, let's put that back. You go there. Is this one too big? I don't like that either. All right, scratch the heart plan. Let's just do a dot in between them. Whoops, where's that? Oh my God, they're so little, you guys. I ordered a microphone. The microphone on the iPad is really, really good, but you have to be like kind of facing it, and you have to talk louder. And that's hard to remember to do that. And obviously I'm not facing the camera because, so, all right, well, this is going to be kind of crappy, but I can't get it any closer with my fingers. I guess I could use tweezers though. Let me try it with tweezers. I mean, they're so little. Let go. I got my open and my close backwards. All right, one more test run. That's a little better. All right, We're just going to go with it. Whatever it turns out, we're just going to be happy with it. Not too bad. Okay, so I know I should clean them, but you ever try to clean microscopic stamps? Yeah, good luck. All right, let's put this away so it doesn't get lost, because you know what'll happen. They'll vanish if I turn my back on them for any amount of time. But yep, crazy couple days. Outside. Inside, it was Wednesday and Thursday. All right. So, everybody off. This goes here. Oops, that goes there. That goes there. I want this to be in a particular place, so I'm going to glue it on first. Keep though. But, so what have you been up to the last couple of days? I have been working on my mini file holder repurpose project. I have been coffee dyeing paper, which I'll show you here in a bit, because it's cool. Just because I just want some on hand. I coffee dyed my existence journal, and I should have done just some regular paper while I was at it, and I didn't, because I didn't know where my life was going apparently. And so I figured I would do some. I like to do that kind of stuff in the winter because I can just put it on the pellet stove to dry. I don't have to do anything fancy. And then right now I've got some seam binding being dyed, so that should be fun. There. Yep, I like that. And then I need to cut that. Hold that thought, I'll be right back. But on the home front, Josh and I planted a whole bunch of new baby starts. We needed to you have to plant in sessions so that you always, you can rotate out as you go. And so I'm not good at scheduling that yet. So in general, we're just learning how to schedule to get, so we don't run out, because of course you have to let it germinate, you have to let it grow, and then you have to let it get bigger so that it, you can eat it, kind of thing. And I'm trying to figure out the time scale for how long it takes to do that in between. And so we our lettuce that we've got that's big is just now getting ready to eat. And I probably should have started new seeds last week, but I didn't. so I think I'm going to be off a bit. But so we started new lettuce, new pak choi. The pak choi and the tatsoi, that keeps going for months. You just harvest off the leaves and let it grow back, and harvest off the leaves and let it grow back. But we tried Napa cabbage for the first time, and it's an awesome reproducer. And so I planted 6 more Napa cabbage to grow, and a bunch of lettuce, pak choi, tatsoi, and then I set up a whole new shelf just to grow the greens on. The lettuce is ever rotating. You can only clip the lettuce twice, and then it gets bitter, so you have to let it go. But the pak choi, the cabbages and stuff, you can just keep picking the leaves off and eating it. And so it's nice to have a whole bunch of that, because it's like spinach, you know, you have a 2-foot box of spinach, but it only cooks down to about a handful. And so, but yeah, I'll put pictures up. That's easier than trying to show you these little tiny pictures. But Joshua is our main planter. He's really gotten good at it, and I told him he needs to apply to the local nursery to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, well, I'll show you pictures. But so what we do is we have different size pots and different size for we do seed starts, and then I can't think, you guys. Then when you let them grow to a certain size, and then you transplant them to bigger pots. I know why it's hot. That's why. Here, at least at this moment. Give me 10 minutes. It won't be hot anymore. Oh wait, that's not what I want to do there. But, and then the other thing that we planted was microgreens, and we try to keep microgreens going at all times. Usually just a 10 by 20 tray of assorted microgreens. This picture is of flowers that my husband brought me just because I was having a stressful couple of days in the Fauxbonichi group, and he thought I needed a boost. Somehow I had those on there. How did I have them on there? No, I think it was like that. Weird. Weird. Well, that's how it's going down. I can't remember, and I just had it there. But yeah, we grow lots of microgreens. Kale, broccoli, bok choy. Gosh, what else? Radish, pea. I think we have parsley going this time. Hold on. My basket of wonder, because y'all want to see, right? Microgreens are probably one of the easiest things to grow ever. We started out with little mushroom containers that were just filled with some potting soil and on the kitchen window sill. But yeah, mustards and tatsois and cabbages and kales. We do, my favorite is tatsoi. It's a mustard, but it's really mild. It tastes more like a cabbage than a mustard. Kohlrabi is surprisingly good as a microgreen. I buy it in big packages. This is a normal seed package, and this is how I buy them. But they're really inexpensive once you get set up with your packaging. Broccoli and regular red kale, different kinds of peas, radishes, basils. This is a purple basil. Shiso, it's really difficult to grow, but it's really tasty. Sorrel tastes like lemons, more basil. Yeah, it's snow peas. You get it, right? So, so we have a tray of those going at all times on top of all the other, that's why this looks weird. I forgot to put my other piece down. I'm like, what the world? Okay, so, yeah, and then what we either grow it to a full-size quote-unquote plant in the house, or we grow it as a microgreen. And I'll put the links down below to our growing stuff. I'm telling you, it's easy, it's inexpensive. You don't have to have special equipment. Our base is a shelf from Sam's Club and a set of fluorescent shop lights, and fluorescent bulbs from Lowe's Hardware. That's it. All right, so let's see. I wanted this to go here. But yeah, so that's what he I would say we did, but I didn't. I directed traffic. Because it's a one person job, but he's really good at it. He's more meticulous than I am, which makes it better. Because I'm like, oh, just throw it in there. And he's like, yeah, and then it grows and it's a mess. So, no. But, so that's pretty much how we spent one day. Well, it kind of rolls into 2 days, because then on top of that you have to do all the watering and all of that kind of stuff. And so really this is the 6th and or the 7th, and this is the 6th. So anybody else grow food in the house? I mean, I know it's a weird thing. Although I noticed that gardening kind of took off into 2020 because people were like panicking over food and all this stuff. I can tell you right now, I can eat for about 2 months out of my house. Between what we're growing and the pantry that I have, and I was supposed to go there. Oh well. Yep. And then if it's in the summertime, oh gosh, I'm even more set. Probably the hardest thing would be is that I don't grow potatoes, and we pretty much live on potatoes. So that would be hard to be without. And onions, I could grow it though. And if we were ever to go back into a victory garden situation, I'd just plow up my yard. I have like a half an acre of lawn. So I would take my little rototiller thingy out there and dig that lawn up like nobody's business. And all of my neighbors would be like, can we get food? And I'd be like, nope, because I don't like my neighbors. With fairness, they're shitty. But I think kids need to learn about food. I think adults these days need to learn about food. Oh my gosh, the ignorance is rampant for what people think about different foods. But in fairness, we're taught terrible nutrition. And we're not taught to take care of ourselves. We are taught that, you know, you just run to the grocery store and buy dinner. You're set. It's fine, because there will never be a shitstorm that hits the world and we have to stay at home because of quarantine. Oh, you mean, yeah. But I think if you know how your food is produced, how it grows, what it looks like when it's growing, first of all, you have an appreciation for food. I don't know why food became a second thought. For some odd reason, you know, over the millennia, it's been your survival, and now all of a sudden food is like, I don't have time for food. You know, I have to live on it. It's that important. Without it, I die. But yeah, I don't have time for food. But I always find that just funny. But we've had an absolute wonderful time figuring out different kinds of foods. We've learned so much about the variety that's out there. I did not realize how limited our knowledge and choices were when we were eating the standard American diet. It seems like there's a lot out there, but really what's out there is what the market is selling you, not actually what's out there. It's a limited amount of crap in a package, and there's just so much. I mean, check it out. One seed. Let me give you an example. One seed. Where's the kale? Somewhere in here. Kale. This is dino kale. You can't see anything. I don't know why I imagined with that. One of these plants, if you plant one of these in the spring, I don't care where you live, plant one plant, one seed, okay? This was $11. It's 4 ounces of seeds. This is, for us, like several years worth of seeds, and we eat it constantly. One plant, okay? You plant this in the spring. One plant will reproduce leaves, continue to produce leaves to eat, clear past your first and second frost. One plant. That's how much food you can get out of this. And it's kale, which is like better than taking a vitamin shot. But you know, people are like, oh, but kale's $3 a bunch, or eat less than a quarter of a cent for a plant that you can grow in a pot, by the way. But yeah, so it always, we're just taught not to learn. The marketing is set up. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. You're busy. You work really hard. You don't have to learn this stuff. We expect you to be taken care of by how we feel you should be taken care of. And it's hard to grow food because, you know, just sticking it in dirt and adding water is just work. That's what they teach you. It's not. And there's something grounding about growing a plant. Even if it's a house plant. Peaceful. They just want to grow. I have seen amazing things in plants, and plants just want to grow. They will come back if you let them wilt. They will come back if you forget them. They want, it's like a puppy. They just want to love you. You can beat the holy hell out of that dog and he will still come back if you're nice to it. But they're in a pot. They don't poop. Anyways, grow something. Try microgreens. Try microgreens. If you are one of those people, oh, I don't like kale, I don't like spinach, I bet you'll like microgreens, because microgreens are not the monsters they're larger plants talk about. You can put them in salads, you can put them in soups, you can put them in everything. They're really good on sandwiches. I don't care if it is a meat and cheese laden sandwich. Throw some microgreens on there. Then pull the meat and cheese off and eat the rest of it. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go so that I can get onto my 52 tag challenge. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to go journal, and I will pop a picture up here at the end on how it turned out, and I will see you in the next video. Y'all have a wonderful day. Go out, sunshine, smile, find something to laugh about, find something you love, find something that gives you joy, and oh my gosh, please turn off the news. This too shall pass. Poof. let it go. Don't bring it into your soul. Talk to you later. Bye.